Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Rhythm and Reason podcast. I am your host with the most, Dwayne Evans, and we're bringing another conversation to you today. We have our very own Melvin Franklin Jr., who will be interviewing. I have my friend Terrence here, and Josh and Jamarcus. I don't know where they are, but we're going to get it done anyway, and we go from there. All right. I'm going to bring Terrence on, and he's going to say a few words, and then we're going to bring Melvin Franklin Jr. on himself. Brother Terrence, give the people what they want.
All right. Y'all are going to enjoy this show we have here tonight. You know what I always say, get your popcorn, get your girls, get your husbands, whatever you need to do, and sit back and enjoy another great episode of the Rhythm and Reason podcast.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So, we're going to bring Melvin Franklin Jr. on. Melvin Franklin Jr., everybody, give him a grand round of applause. Melvin Franklin Jr., it is a pleasure to have you on our podcast. How are you today?
It is a pleasure to be here, sir. Thank you for having me. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. So I know this wasn't anticipated, but I got my brother Glenn Leonard Jr. happened to swing by to come visit, and we got a couple of projects that we're working on. So he is the son of Glenn Leonard, who is a former tenor of the Temptations. You hear his voice every year around this time in the classical Temptations rendition of Silent Night. So I have Mr. Glenn Leonard Jr. here with me as well.
Hello.
All right. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. We got no problems.
Welcome to the show, both of you, man. It's been anticipated to have you both on. And I was just talking to Terrence the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, we have Melvin Franklin Jr. on." I said, "Oh my goodness!"
Well, I was so excited. I was so
Melvin Franklin Jr.? I said, "Shucks, man, we might as well cancel the whole day."
No, stop it.
He ain't never lied when he said we hear Glenn Leonard every time of the holidays. You know that silent.
Exactly. You know who he is. You know who he is.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. It's a question for the both of y'all. When did y'all figure out that y'all? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, one sec. I just want to turn my speakers up real quick so I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
That's all. One sec. Okay. There we go. Yep, I can hear you loud and clear now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, hit that note. Yeah.
So what the question was going to be is,
yes,
when did the both of y'all realize that y'all fathers was not regular fathers?
Well, I've kind of always known. I think Glenn can answer this question better than me. I'm going to let him answer first, and then I'll follow up.
Okay.
Let's see. The first time, I think, I can't recall necessarily the first time, but I remember being allowed to be on one of the first tours he did. I was young. I was maybe 3 or 4, and I saw a building full of people who were clamoring to see the 5 of them. And I think it was at that moment I knew, something was different about him. Up until then, I was always around the Temptations when they were recording in the studio. I was always the kid who was just always around. So I'd be on the tour buses, I'd be at the rehearsals. But once I was actually in the building and watching people come in, and you see how they gravitate and pulled to the people. That's when I knew, like, oh, okay, he's a part of something unique and legendary, of course, as I've gotten older and you realize who the Temptations are. Yeah, so real young. I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. Excuse me.
Yeah, about the same for me, but it was more so me seeing them on television and all of my family members making a big deal of it. Like, that's your daddy, right? And the story is told to me. Of course, I was much too young to remember it for myself, but the story is told to me when I was still in diapers. Whenever he would appear on television, I would always run up to the TV and start slapping the television like, "That my daddy, that my daddy," right? So, but as far as realizing that, he wasn't just a dad, right? But he was a temptation. I'll probably say maybe 7, 8 years old, around there is when I really understood, like, okay, this dude is kind of an icon. And that's kind of when I started being more closed mouth about that information, right? I wasn't too open with the fact that was my father.
And most of the kids are that way. I was that way as well.
Right.
We don't really, being involved in entertainment. If you have parents who are involved in entertainment, you kind of get that conversation early. You don't talk about what you see. You don't talk about what goes on in the house. You don't make a lot of noise about it, so you don't get a lot of attention. Now things are a lot different today.
Absolutely.
And when we were kids, and today everybody talks about all their business and everybody and who they related to and what they do.
Everything.
And what they don't do.
Text messages getting exposed, all types of crazy stuff today.
So we are products of the old school where the only thing you're gonna get is his talent. And that's about it.
That's about it. We're gonna shake hands and kiss babies.
That's it. We don't talk about what's going on behind doors and what we've seen and what all of that is present, but there was just a certain understanding culturally. I think
absolutely
things were just a little different back then. So.
I agree.
Y'all kind of answered my next question a little bit, because I heard one of the Jackson's boys was like, you had to kind of be super good because you don't want your name up in the newspapers or whatever. Was it like that for y'all? Did y'all have to kind of like watch where y'all went?
Who was that? Do you know who that was? What son was that?
That was Tito's son.
Tito's son. I was gonna say, yeah, I think I saw that myself.
Okay, because I used to go to school with Ziggy. I think that's Marlon's son. So
I think
I think that's Marlon's son. But we used to go to junior high school together, and so we would have those conversations, like about there's just certain things you just don't communicate, and because back then. The industry was not the industry, but media, tabloids, like all those things were kind of more respectful towards an entertainer's privacy.
This was pre-TMZ.
Yeah.
Right. So media had a lot more respect for celebrity back then.
Must be nice.
I always joke with my dad today. I always tell him, man, if you guys were at your height today, like you were in the 60s, y'all would have been canceled.
Oh Lord!
Immediately.
Yeah, y'all would have been canceled on day one because it was just a different time. Whereas today, you just can't get away with a lot of stuff that they was doing back then. So yeah, you're just trained not to talk about it. You're trained to kind of keep it moving, and and that's just. Which I kind of enjoy, because to me, that's what creates superstars. When you don't really know about a person and all you know is their talent, they become stars. The reason Beyonce is a huge star, because you don't know really nothing about her. She don't do interviews. She don't talk. So the people who kind of stay behind the scenes and just give you talent, they become mega stars. And I think that was the magic of Motown in general. You didn't know where these people came from. You didn't really know how old they were. Most of the public didn't know they were children. up there, looking like 30-year-olds,
Right.
performing.
Dude, my daddy was 17 when he
Yeah.
joined the Temptations.
17
And
and had that voice as early as 14.
Right. I would say he'd been singing professionally since he was 14, but he became like singing with grown men at 14. But he became Temptation at 17.
Masters.
Yeah, so somebody been digging around. Huh? Somebody know history. He said the voice.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. He did say the Voice Masters. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Somebody knows their history.
We moving around over here, man.
Right.
All of us are Temptation, historians. So we know everything about each member.
This is the man that will test that knowledge. Trust me.
Hey,
he is our resident. He is our resident historian.
Right here. I have a picture right here. This is how much of a fan of the Temps I am. I got a picture of them in my room.
Okay, I see you.
Those are the
original. Josh used to be a bass singer.
Right, that's the original.
That's the original.
This is Al. This ain't David Roberts.
Right. Come on.
That's Elbridge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
My boy Josh can do a mean old man river.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
I have to check that out one day, brother.
Oh boy,
I have to check that out.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
We can get some harmonies.
Come on.
Here we go.
We can get some harmonies in here.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna pass the mic to John. You got any questions for the fellas over here?
Oh wow. Yes, I have a question for Mr. Melvin Franklin Jr. How did you get into Glenn Leonard's Temptations review?
This man right here.
Oh, yeah. And first off, I want to say it's an honor to meet the both of y'all.
Yeah.
Privilege is all ours, brother.
Yeah, it's really
all ours. Really, thank you for having us.
Well, I'll tell, because a lot of it, Melvin's been a recipient of a lot of this temptation thing. When I first met him, it was an immediate, like, oh my God, you sound just like your father. And for those of us who've been around his father, you kind of know the difference between Melvin and then just another guy with a deep voice. Melvin, his dad had a certain personality, a certain tone, a certain way he looked at you. It's a whole ambiance around this guy. But when I first heard his voice, I said, oh my God, like I haven't heard that voice in decades. And so as we started working together with different ventures with the Sun and all this type of stuff, me and Melvin I would work with him to help, develop his talent as far as the bass part, because he's an amazing hip hop artist. That's his genre. He don't really deal with the musical.
I didn't.
He didn't.
I do now, but I didn't.
When I heard his voice, I heard a bass singer. I didn't hear a hip hop guy. I was like, bro, you need to be singing bass, because in what the Temps are a tenor bass sound. And you have all that good stuff in between, but the dominant voices are the tenors. Yeah, the tenor and the bass. And so just over time, start working together and developing his sound. My father let go of his bass singer. And so he called me and said, hey, I need a bass singer. And I'm thinking of Melvin. You think he's ready? And I said, yeah, I know he's ready, because we've been working together. And so, boom, like clockwork. And he works hard. You don't really have to give him a whole lot of micromanaging to get everything down. Yeah, he went in. I don't think he's officially ever done a physical rehearsal with the guys.
Not until we got to the Netherlands. Once we got to the Netherlands.
So he learned the whole show in 2 weeks on a videotape. Knew the parts.
Wow.
I gave him acapellas to some of the original songs so he could hear his father. And you can't tell my father nothing. Like having this guy and that sound. Oh yeah, that Daddy was impressed from like day one. He was like, we don't even have to rehearse this dude. This dude knows the steps. He knows the sound. He doing everything. Because the DNA don't lie. You know what I mean?
The DNA does not lie.
And here's the crazy thing about that, right? Is when his father first joined the Temptations, it was my father that mentored him.
Yeah.
He moved in with my father to prepare for his debut show.
Oh, I didn't know all this.
And when he first joined the group, the debut show was the Midnight Special.
Yeah, so they just uploaded that show on YouTube.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So when you see it, that's my father's debut on that show.
Right. And so in order to prep for that show, he moved in with my father.
Yeah.
And my father worked with him to get him up to speed for the show. Now here we are 30 years,
40,
50 years later. You were 50 years later, and now his father is mentoring me. Right. So it's like a really dope full circle moment, like just to show you how God works. You know what I'm saying? And then we wind up being best friends. Right. And so it's just like it's crazy how all the connections work.
Yeah, it's, this was not in our will. We both were mentioning earlier today when we were having lunch. This was not in our wheelhouse.
Not at all.
Neither one of us were going to be.
We were not on this path.
Not on y'all bingo cards.
Right. Yeah, this wasn't on the bingo card, right?
Yeah, and that's crazy because I was actually watching that whole entire show of the Midnight Special. Learning that was Glenn's debut, and he had it down packed. He didn't mess up with nothing. He knew all the moves,
right.
The songs and everything.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute, he just got in the group and he
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'm sure y'all heard the story of what happened to Ricky Owens, but
Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. Shout out to Ricky.
All right. But I'm like, wow, Glenn, he learned all this in 2 weeks. And not, like I mentioned, his voice, incredible. Incredible.
Come on, you about to hear it nonstop for the next 3 months. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, 2 weeks seems to be
that's like the standard.
That's like the standard.
That's the bar,
So
bro. Because you had 2 weeks.
I had 2 weeks. So
I had 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Your daddy had 2
2
weeks.
weeks. Ron Tyson had 2 weeks.
Paul had 2 weeks before he joined Dennis's group.
Yeah, Paul had 2 weeks. 2 weeks seems to be when my father left the group in 83. Ron Tyson took his place.
He had 2 weeks.
So Ron literally had 2 weeks to learn the show to do Motown 25.
Right. So that's when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying that's how big that show was, and he had 2 weeks to prepare for that.
When I joined, so me and Paul Williams Jr. We sing together in a Temptation group. When Paul called me, they had 2 weeks.
2 weeks
to the next show.
Yep.
And so he's like, Glenn, I need you to learn the show. You know the songs. If you've been singing this stuff for, if you're a singer and you sing Temptation stuff, you know the harmony and all that stuff.
Right.
But the choreography is kind of what you got to learn.
Right. You got to know the steps.
So I told him, I said, send me. No, what I did was I flew to Detroit.
You sure did.
To do a rehearsal.
Yep.
I
recorded the rehearsal.
Came back home, learned it, and did the show. And that was almost 2 years ago, maybe.
Just about coming up on.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Coming up on. Yep. And I've been with his dad. Next month it'll be a year.
A year. Wow.
I've been with his dad for a year. Yep.
Wow. Now, when I first found out, Mr. Franklin, you was with Glenn Leonard's review, because I've been following you for a long time, and I was like, when I first saw the video, I was like, wait a minute, that person looks very familiar, and I rewinded it. I was like, that's Melvin Franklin Jr. I'm like,
right, because I was off of social media for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. When did he join?
Yeah, it's coming up next month, November. It'll be a year.
Word! It's real close. November just around the corner.
Right, November it'll be a year, man.
Next week.
Right.
Have you guys I don't know if you've seen. There's like clips of it on social media, but there's clips of him doing Old Man River with
I
my
saw
father's
it.
group.
I saw it too.
Hey man, look.
He sent it to me actually
Look,
when he saw it.
I get chills thinking about. Man, I'm telling you, it's something to hear. It's not, you know, hearing a bass singer do it is one thing, but again, his dad has such a iconic sound, and if you've been around him, there's a certain sound that comes out of that man's bass voice that is just like God, dog. So when he does it, you know, that's his kid. So it's kind of like when I sing or when Paul sings, we all are we sound like our dads because they are dads. So you have that familiarity there.
Yeah,
there are certain things that he does. Well, we're not even singing, just like when we're talking, there's certain mannerism that he has that I know his father used to do, and he has no idea that he's doing it. But I'd be like, man, you don't even like there's certain grunts and things that he does, and I'll be like, man, your dad
dude, mannerisms. Like your daddy will be like, I'll just be like sitting, and then like I'll do something, just wipe my feet, like, man, your daddy used to do that same thing. I'm like, I don't even know what I did, right?
Oh man.
But to hear him up there singing Old Man River, and you know, I think there's a piece of all of us who have helped in his development.
Absolutely.
It's a very proud, like,
absolutely. But his family, the whole Leonard family, really has been phenomenally supportive throughout this journey. Like Pop, Mama Darcel, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to drive 2 hours every weekend to go work with her because she was a solid gold dancer, and so I would go work with her. She would tutor me on dance steps because I didn't, you know.
Yeah, brother.
Gangsters don't dance.
Brother was a little stiff on the dance.
Yeah. But Mama Darcel got me right. Real talk.
She had to break them joints down.
You know,
come on, loosen up,
and
son.
then he's working with me on the vocals. You know, Pop working with me. You know what I'm saying? On like the routine. It just the whole Leonard family. Like his baby is upstairs playing with my babies right now while we're down here recording. You know what I'm saying?
Which is hilarious because when I think of him and my dad became really close in the group because they lived together for a while. When my dad joined the group, my dad didn't have a place to live
because he moved out to California from DC. That's why.
Like he had nothing. He
just
left
on a dream.
Yeah,
just to be a part of his group. When Otis sent him, when the temp sent him the plane ticket, they asked him, you know, what return address do you want, or what return date? I'm sorry. And Pop said, just make it one way.
Ain't no one way.
Because if I don't make it, I ain't going back.
Come on.
So he lived with Melvin for two or 3 weeks to, you know, get himself, you know, get his feet under him, and so they became really close. And they had a little name. They used to call each other, you know, Thunder and Lightning and Champagne and
Caviar, right? Yeah.
And so for us to hook up,
right,
is just hilarious because that was never planned. Like I didn't even know him. I met
at
him
all over a phone call.
Yeah,
we met each other over the phone, bro. Yeah.
That's how
right.
Yeah.
Phone call.
And we're polar opposites, but we get along.
Gosh.
Because there's an honesty and a trust there and a straightforwardness
100%.
that is just respected. So yeah, our daughter's upstairs playing around, and you know, I'm sure his dad never saw this coming. You know,
I'm positive. I am positive he never saw this coming.
Yeah. So here we are.
Well, Dwayne, you got a question up there, bro?
Hold a minute.
Yeah.
I was pressing the mute button, but the mute button wasn't unmuting. Yes, I have. Wait a minute.
The OGs know the technology better than you, my boy. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to get them, gang.
Dwayne up there and spent the last 30 minutes hitting the mute button. Like what?
No, I hit the mute button. I was like, wait a second, this thing ain't unmuting. But so I got a question. So my question is, being, y'all being, Glenn Leonard's son and Melvin Franklin's son, how music must run through your DNA. So how do you go about that? Like with music, like when you channel your music, do you channel it from the fact that your dad, you both of your dads were great artists, or do you channel it from your own um, understanding of music?
I think, and I'm going to answer for both of us here. I think it's a bit of both. We obviously, like you said, it's in the DNA, but if you don't discover your own love and passion for it, then you won't develop it on your own, right? Like prime example, Steph Curry, right? One of the greatest, if not the greatest, three-point shooter in the history of the NBA. His father was Dale Curry. Himself being a reasonably decent NBA player, but his son caught the passion on his own and put the work in to become the player that he is, right? You contrast that with Michael Jordan's son, right? Or I probably shouldn't even go here, but Magic Johnson's son, right? Like you
mean the lady, or
I'm not going to say I'm not going to go there. But what I'm saying is, just coming from that in and of itself is not enough. Is the point that I'm making? Okay. Anyway,
you told me these softballs.
We tried to say the right pronoun.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you I don't. So you got
right. So what I was saying was. So what I was saying was, if you don't develop, like you can have the DNA all you like, but if you don't develop the passion on your own to pursue it, like you will never truly develop as an artist. So I believe it's equal parts. We have the DNA, we have the blood, but we also have the passion. And because of that, we are able to develop our gift and offer it to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, that was, as an artist, you are the sum total of your influences.
Facts.
And so every person, every artist, every great artist pulls from somebody.
From those that came before.
We just lost who I consider to be
one of the GOATs, especially of neo soul.
Yeah, the of my generation. He was a Marvin Gaye of our generation.
Come on,
D'Angelo.
Facts.
But when you listen to him, if you know anything about music, you can hear a little bit of Marvin. You can hear a little bit of Prince.
You hear a little bit of Al Green,
Sly Stone.
You hear a little bit of Sly.
Everybody's a sum total of whatever they're.
You can hear a little bit of Eddie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so, growing up, whoever you're listening to, you're going to borrow, and you create this sound that's unique to you. So, in case of like his father, Melvin comes from a rich history of his influences were gospel quartet groups.
Your Dixie Hummingbirds.
30s and 40s, Willie Bobo,
Dixie Hummingbirds, right.
Amazing bass singer.
Oh my God.
If you listen to him, you can.
Yeah. Because I remember I seen an interview that Melvin did about.
Howard Carroll of the Swan Silver Tones,
right.
and Jimmy
Paul
Ricks.
Robeson.
Yeah, Jimmy Ricks of the Ravens. You ever listen to Jimmy Ricks of the Ravens?
Yeah, don't get me started on Jimmy Ricks.
Good God Almighty!
Lord.
So you're a sum total of that, and then you bring all that together and you add what you do, whatever your interpretation of that is, and you become whatever it is you become. So. My father was a huge
Eddie fan.
But
he has his own sound.
His own, like Daddy sounds nothing like Eddie.
Right. If you hear Eddie and you hear Glenn, there is a distinct difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Eddie was a huge influence on his pops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, you kind of get it out there the best way you can. But, when you're a legacy talent, you can't help but to sound like, it's part of the downfall, really, because you're always compared. I remember when I first heard Gerald Levert.
Oh,
you couldn't tell me that wasn't Eddie Levert when I first heard him. I was like, man, that sound like Eddie. Like, how the heck? And
Gerald is dope, though. Shout out to Gerald.
But Gerald can't help it. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
G album is one of the best, man.
Gerald Levert was like singing, but he sounds just like his daddy. Now,
I'm a Gerald fan, but it was something about it was Sean for me, bro. It was something about the way Sean. It was something about the way Sean used to say they used to give me, bro. Because Sean, it used to always be his facial expression. Sean used to seem like he was mad.
Yeah. Well, that's because he was.
Right.
Little do you know, he was pissed.
Sean was pissed.
And then, like, the group Levert itself, it's a 3-man group versus 3-man group. I remember them saying they got compared to the OJs so much. Who else can they get? Who else can they get compared to?
What else you gonna do?
Right.
Right. I remember Gerald when Gerald used to send in his demo tapes. The record labels didn't believe him because he sounds so much like they thought it was Eddie, and they couldn't believe that this boy sounds so much like his dad. And of course, it's like of course, that's who he sounds like. So you try to find your areas of, especially when you're singing these type of songs, these Temptation classic songs like we do. You have to do them the way people remember them. So you try to add your little stuff here and there, but you know.
But in truth, you are looking to honor the spirit of the one that came before you, right? So while we do add, I mean, because we are unique individuals ourselves, but when we're up on stage, we understand the legacy that we're representing. We understand why the people are paying their hard-earned money to come see us. Mm-hmm. It's not because of us. It's because of our fathers, right? That's who made them fall in love with the music. And so we want to do our very best to represent that. At the same time, retaining that bit of individualism, if you will,
Yeah, add a little run here and there, just
a little
lick of the lips or something,
a little something. Just let them know, like, I'm here. Don't get it twisted. I'm here.
Yeah, I know what you came for, and I'm gonna sing it the way you want me to sing
it.
Every so often, I'm gonna switch up a little bit. You gonna get a little bit of me.
Here, don't get it twisted. I'm here, but yeah, absolutely.
Now,
because I noticed, like, with Jawan Jackson, shout out to him, when he sings.
Shout out Jawan, bro. Jawan is the truth.
When he sings "Papa Was a Rolling Stone," I noticed he kind of sings it his own way.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were talking about that at the show. Right. When we went to the show, we were talking about that. Yeah, absolutely. As he should.
So here's what's going to happen, right? Because as things evolve, the Temptations, the men that we grew up watching, right? The men, those men, post, I say before like the Temps during like maybe the 1980s on back. Those men are of a certain era.
Right.
And so the era kind of produces those type of artists. They sing a certain way, they maneuver a certain way, they went to church a certain way, things were just done a certain way. So these are men of a certain era. So as this thing progresses, because the Temps are going on 60 plus years,
64,
and as they add younger members to the group, these men are from a different era,
right?
So they have a different swag.
Right. Remember, Juwan's still in his 30s.
Yeah. So
Otis just turned 83.
I can almost guarantee you, Juwan probably has studied a little bit of Melvin because, of course, he had to play Melvin in the play.
Oh, yeah.
But to really understand the psyche of how Melvin did what he did, that's because Melvin came from a certain era. Certain influences that we talked about, quartet groups and all that kind of stuff. The Temptations it's a gospel sound.
Right.
It's a gospel sound put to secular music.
Yes.
So people don't go to church as often as they did back then today. So the sound's going to change because folks ain't going to church the way they do. So that gospel-y, bluesy sound the Temps had will change over time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things where, you know, I think especially younger guys, especially the Temps coming into that group, you know, people are going to have to kind of give them grace because these are guys who are coming in who, you know, aren't from
completely different generation.
Different generation of guys.
Right.
Those guys who can fill that role are like 80 and 80, you know, close to 90.
Few and far between.
Those guys
like you
are
will
dying
never
out.
get another. Well, closest thing. I was about to say something, but let me correct myself. The closest thing will be CJ.
Oh, the Dennis. Oh,
but you will never get another Dennis Edwards.
No.
Except for the closest thing is CJ, who is currently the lead singer of the Spinners.
Yeah.
But he's another son. He's Dennis Edwards' godson.
Yeah.
Right. So but he's with us. He's part of the Sons.
Yeah.
And that's the closest you're gonna get to that type of, you know, a Baptist gospel soul.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That didn't, like, Dennis was one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it, like I said, those artists are just cut from a different cloth. They are hard to replace. You're not gonna find another David Ruffin. No. You know what I'm saying? Like it just not. You feel me? Unless you tap into David Ruffin Jr.
Well, see, folks don't grow up in the youth choir no more. So you learned you learned all that kind of stuff singing in church and the youth choir and the old folks choir and
100%.
You know, singing out of hymnal books and all that. Don't nobody do that stuff no more. Everybody, they got full bands in the praise team, and they're, you know, it's just a different world. So
they got AI doing gospel music now. Like this is,
I mean,
it ain't even, you know what I'm saying? It ain't even the same.
It's just a different output.
AI is doing everything.
Come on, man.
I saw AI Dr. King, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, great!"
Yeah, I wanted to call my phone, but look, I'm gonna say, I will say this, dude. AI did a remix to the Ludacris that "Move, Get Out the Way."
Mm-hmm.
AI did a remix to that. You heard that one? Oh my God, yo, that is so funky. I am not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
like they smoothed that thing on out, man. So dope. I was just like, why? Like it sounded like Sam Cooke singing.
AI turned a trap song into like a 70s soul song, like turned it into
exactly.
I was like, yo, how they do this?
It's a whole different
They had the background vocals and all that. I'm like, what?
The end of the world is coming soon. Like, there's no doubt. We found a way to screw everything up. Like we have officially screwed ourselves because no one's gonna know what's true or not. I'm watching videos of Tupac
with Kobe Bryant. Come on, bro. Yeah,
and it looks so real.
Yeah, man.
Working at Burger King, you can eat this food the way I make it.
Bro.
What's this?
Bro, come on.
Bro, they had a video of James Brown doing stand-up comedy. I'm like,
come on, bro. And I really want to ask, like, I really want to ask. When it comes to this type of stuff, yo, it baffles my mind, and I really would like to ask the members of the Caucasian nation if they see like Elvis Presley or, you know, Marilyn Monroe or, you know what I'm saying, like it, because it seems like they're only doing this to Black artists. But so I don't know if it's just because it's my feed. So that's why I really want to know, like, are they doing it? Like, is there an AI Taylor Swift like that's doing, you know what I'm saying? Like that. So I'm really actually curious because you know how they take our music and make it their own. So I'm just wondering.
Imitated, never duplicated.
You know what I'm saying? But it for every
you know, they've been trying to resurrect Elvis for years.
So. I get it, right? So, but like for every usher, there's a Justin Timberlake.
Just talk, Elvis, please. Just
you know what I'm saying? And I'm just wondering, okay, is it just us that is being manipulated by AI? Like, is this preemptive in some sort of way? Or is this universal? Are they doing this to everybody?
No, it's
like because I have yet to see like an AI Beethoven. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny, but I'm serious. Like I haven't seen an AI Mozart or nothing.
Right.
Like the music that we hold, our icons that we idolize and put on a pedestal. These are the people that are being duplicated by AI, but I'm not seeing anything in any other genre. So again, I'm just wondering if maybe it's because it's just my feed because I'm Black. So maybe I'm only seeing Black people because I'm Black. If I was white, maybe I'd be seeing white people. I don't know. So I'm really posing this question because I'm really curious. Is this a universal thing? Or are they just, you know what I'm saying? Is it just targeting us?
How do we even get here?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. How did we get here?
The original question was, what are we doing this Friday? And then it turned into AI is.
It turned into the end of the world. It turned into
that was him. He's on the Terminator tip over here. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, I do believe.
Okay, so I got a question that my friends wanted me to ask Mr. Leonard. It's this ongoing joke that we have.
No, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it, bro.
Yes.
I hope it's funny.
Yes. I want to know now.
You know the rules. Got to be funny.
Yeah.
And if it's not funny, then somebody's got to
Mr. Franklin, I think you know because me and you discussed it on Facebook.
Okay.
Mr. Leonard, how does your father keep his fro?
Jesus Christ.
Very meticulously.
Because we
very meticulously.
Me and my friend, he was like, perfect. This man Glenn had a fro since probably he was born, and it's like he just has a fro.
The fro is perfect. It's just a little bit of
magical afro.
So
and it's like
so earlier, right? We talked about men of a certain era.
Yep.
So my father is from the era where, so I liken my dad to like James Evans on Good Times. You know, if you had a dad in the 70s, you know, them jokers just had a certain cadence that men just don't have no more. Like when my father woke up to wax his car, my father used to drive a Brougham '89 Cadillac. This Cadillac is about as long
sandwich.
This Cadillac about as long as this driveway. That's the car I learned how to drive on. Shout out to all the Brougham drivers out there.
Come on.
But Daddy would put on a dress shirt and a pair of slacks and some old Stacey Adams just to go wax his car. He makes sure that fro was tight when he went outside. That's just a different. These are men of a different era.
To this day.
Like you ain't gonna catch him wearing tennis shoes.
To this
You're
day.
not gonna catch him wearing jeans.
Let me add on to this. Let me add. So we were just in. Where were we just at? Houston. We were just in Houston, right? And you know how hotels do the breakfast shot, right? You got to be downstairs by like 7-8 o'clock to be able to get the breakfast and everything, right? So we all link up in the morning time to get ready for sound check. Mm-hmm. And I come downstairs. I'm fresh out the bed. I just washed my face and brushed my teeth. Threw some gym shorts on, t-shirt. I'm just going down to eat, right? I'm just going to. Man, let me tell you something. Mr. Leonard Sr. Slacks, button down, gold chain, gold watch,
pinky ring,
right? To eat breakfast.
Just to eat breakfast.
Now here's the thing. I'm chilling. I'm like, dude, we ain't nobody in here. We just eating breakfast, right? We get ready to go to sound check, so I get dressed. I got a little button up, little button down, slacks, whatever. We get down to the lobby. He pulls me to the side. He's like, "Hey, Blue, come here. Let me holler at you." It's like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Yeah, see what you got on right now? That's how you should have been at breakfast." I was like, "Sir, yes, sir."
Oh, that is so funny. I didn't even know that.
Sir, yes, sir. It will not happen again. I'm sorry.
Man, look
but
here.
Glenn is. I just want to Glenn is serious.
Let me tell
about
you,
that.
Living in his house,
Real talk.
Living in Mr. Leonard's house, yes, I couldn't wear jeans literally till I got to my freshman year in high school.
I believe it. I believe it.
I wore slacks and dress shoes everywhere. Like that was in his house. Grown men didn't wear tennis shoes and jeans.
This is a fact.
That's just the era. Like my father's from DC. He's a real DC cat. So your hair's always got to be nice. Like when I left the house, your hair had to be fixed. Like you going? Where you going? Your hair ain't combed. Like what are you doing? So to answer your question, that fro has always been tapered, but you will not catch him. Hear me when I tell you, you will not catch him slacking when it comes to the appearance, because that's the era they come. My mom's the same way.
I remember he got on a photographer one time for getting him, and he wasn't all the way tight. You know what I'm saying? He's like, wait a minute, no, delete that.
Oh yeah,
nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah, when Pop's at the house, he got his do. You know, he puts his rag on and keeps it. You know, so when he wakes up, it's nice and that's just how he rolled. Now I used to edge him up because he didn't like people in his hair. So, you know, I would always edge him up, make sure he was good. But yeah, that's the era of guys, man. And what's crazy is when you meet men of that era, they're all like that.
Oh yeah, he's not unique in that.
Yeah, they look at you like, one of my father's pet peeves to this day, especially when it comes to entertainment, is to watch grown men come on stage with like t-shirts, tennis shoes,
yep, or jerseys,
and jerseys, and
stuff like that. Yeah,
because in his mind, it's like, why would I pay to watch you look like you just came out the liquor store? Like I'm paying to see a show. So you know, again, it's just the mindset. But yeah, Pop has had that fro as long as
like you said, since he been born.
Since I was born,
he popped out the womb, like oh.
And look, it's just recently that he has started to kind of like cut it down. Because of us. We'd be like, Daddy, come on, man. Like, just be a little more contemporary. He'd be like, okay, you know, but you know, left to his own devices, it'd be out here if it was up to him.
Yeah.
Look, and it would be clean though, and it would be crispy.
Yeah. All day.
Yeah,
because I was looking at shows that he was doing back in the 70s with Temps, and his fro did used to be out to here, and he had his mustache at the time.
He had the stash.
Yeah, he had the cop stash. He had the CHP stash.
My grandpa was the same way though. My grandpa was
I would say Glenn, my dad, Richard Street, and his dad.
Yeah.
They froze was always like his dad had what I call the Bowinkle fro,
because he had the part.
Melvin had the part coming down sideways, and then the fro would come heavy at the bottom.
He's still trying to get me to do that, yo. To this day, he was like, because I got a little crop on me, right? So he's trying like, yo, you should blow it out.
Like,
it had that part that your daddy had.
I'm like, covering his ears and all that.
Oh man, look, it's the helmet fro, bro. That fro would come bow. I'm
not doing that, bro.
Mr. Franklin, you should get the ponytail like your dad had.
That's what I'm working on. Yeah. That's what I'm working on, bro. I promise you, that's what I'm working on.
Your dad had a mean ponytail.
I promise you, that's why I'm growing my hair out, bro, so I can get that ponytail on my mama.
Hey, bro, the movie couldn't do Melvin no justice with that ponytail, boy.
Don't even get me started on that movie. We're actually going to do a we're going to start
a reaction video.
Yeah, we're going to start our own thing. We're actually going to do a reaction video to the movie. So stay tuned for that.
Well, we're going to do reaction videos to a lot of things.
Yeah, on TV, but that's one of them that we're going to do.
Performances and things like that. Just just to get people content.
The movie got a lot of accurate.
Yeah, I got a question.
Had no parts in the movie. But we knew who the actor was playing. We knew he was playing Glenn, but he had no parts. No talking parts.
Oh my God.
Just that one singing part.
He just sat there.
So dirty.
Yeah, I think there's a part where he says, hey Glenn.
Yeah, bro.
But I mean, look,
brief cameo.
We've always understood, and I say as a family, my family, when my father joined the group, the Temps kind of had a little snag in between, as far as commercial success.
When they were going to
Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
And so, the Temps, by the time my father got there, the Temps had their heyday.
Yeah.
And so, the movie was primarily based on those original guys.
Right.
And so I think Otis and my father have always been close to this day. They speak, they talk regularly. And so I think that was a way of my Otis rather, giving my father some sort of recognition, because again, that movie was based on
original guy,
not really even
Dennis. But to a certain extent, it was primarily David, but Dennis was featured.
Yeah,
but he did throw your father.
Because they never mentioned Damon. They mentioned Richard, of course, but Damon was never really mentioned.
Right, and Glenn came after Damon.
Yeah.
So
Ricky Owens wasn't mentioned, which I always feel bad for Ricky, because Ricky.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Rick.
I love Ricky.
No disrespect.
No disrespect to Rick. He could sing. He could sing his butt off, but I've read the story.
I would have been nervous too.
But how do y'all feel about David Ruffin's portrayal? I like David Ruffin. Me and him have the same birthday. So
the day he died, boy. Me and
I don't know. How do y'all feel about his portrayal? I really want to know.
Not even just that. How y'all feel about?
How about the whole movie? How do y'all feel about the whole movie? Especially Mr. Frank.
First, let me answer the first question. I think Leon is a phenomenal actor. And I believe he channeled David's energy like none other.
Yeah.
That iconic line, right, during the movie, right, which I'm not going to repeat, right, because right now everybody's coming to see Otis. Okay, so let me put that out there. Okay, so but that iconic line was ad-libbed. Just like it wasn't in the script, right? With just that energy, right? So Leon is a phenomenal actor. Let me start there. But it is unfortunate that David is portrayed in such a negative light, because that tarnishes his legacy a bit, in my opinion. So I don't really agree with the depths of the negativity, but again, it's Hollywood, so you got to sell a story, right? So I understand that. Now, as far as the movie overall, my biggest problem with the movie, two things. One is that they made my father seem like really just wimpy, right? Like he was just like a really weak man. And I don't agree with that, because if you know what this man went through to be able to, like, you can't be weak and roll up to the backstage curtain in a wheelchair and then get up and perform a 90-minute show to where nobody knows that 5 minutes prior to that you were in a wheelchair, and then once the show is over, you can't walk for 2 days. Just to go do it all over again in the next city. Like, a weak man does not do that. A weak man does not fight off an attacker getting shot, trying to rob his cars. Like, they just really portrayed, in my opinion, they portrayed him as weak. And so I disagree with that. Secondly, a lot of the comments that I get regarding the movie I didn't even know he had kids.
Yeah.
And like everybody else was portrayed, family person or whatnot. Sans David, obviously, and we've already covered that. But they just made him seem so isolated, like it was just literally him and his mama, and that was it. I believe it could have been, a bit more truthful in that, but I didn't produce the movie, So, but those are the issues that I have with it personally. It's a good story. I mean, it was released in the late 97, 98. And here we are almost 30 years later, and people are still talking about it. So obviously it has its place in the canon of the Temptations, right?
Right.
So I don't want to diminish the impact that the movie had. And it's actually not a movie, it's a 2-part miniseries. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to diminish the impact that it had, but just personally, those are the 2 issues that I had with it.
Yeah.
We'll cover that in more depth when we do our reaction video.
And I was gonna say, people are still talking about them short ribs. They said they ain't. I'm like,
come on, man.
I still get messages.
It was
I get DMs to this day.
It was.
Yeah, I get DMs to this day talking about people who had a chance to sample Mama Rose's cooking. Like I get DMs to this day. Like, yeah, we used to live around the corner from Claremont and Mama Rose
and all that food on the table. That was no joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a fact.
Yeah, that's how.
Boy,
I'll keep this brief. I'll keep this brief and say that as someone, of course, I was young, but I've been around the guys. I've been around just about every Temptation, especially of that genre. So you hear things and you get information. The movie is not too far from the truth. The devil's always in the details. From a story point of view, that movie's 80 to 90% accurate in terms of the events. Now, certain things like David getting thrown out the car and all that's movie theatrical.
That's Hollywood.
Stuff. Melvin dying in the house. And
that's Hollywood.
That's Hollywood. But pretty much everything you saw in terms of context and how the story was told, that happened. Melvin Sr., talking about his father, I kind of agree with the way he was portrayed, but I think it depends on, things can always be judged how you see it. Melvin was a kid. He was a grown man with a deep voice, but if you were around him, he was very childlike in his optimism for life. His father used to wear a Superman jersey under his shirt to perform because that was his superpower.
Yep.
Now, to the average person, that sounds borderline strange. But if you were around him and understood how this man, he believed that he had a superpower.
For the record, it was a onesie.
And so,
it was a Superman.
Lord have mercy.
You got to remember that when Otis found Melvin was 13, 14 years old. He was a boy. And so Melvin entrusted Otis. You got to remember, Otis had history in owning a group, running a group, having a first hit with a group.
Right, the distance. Yeah, Otis was in the distance. Yep.
So Melvin trusted Otis. They were best friends. And so whatever Otis said, Melvin had no reason not to believe because he's watching this man succeed with the Temptations. You're on Motown Records. You're the biggest label in the world at the moment. You're selling out arenas and stadiums. So
as a black artist during Jim Crow.
Yeah. So when Otis said
they're packing arenas.
If Otis said this is the direction we're gonna go, and this what Melvin wasn't gonna oblige to it. So, but Melvin had a say in certain things. He and Otis owned the name of the group. But I think again, if you don't know that, then yes, you can assume that Melvin was a little passive, he just had a lot of respect for Otis because Melvin was a kid. He literally was given the opportunity to sing in a group that was beyond his years in a sense. I mean, he sounds like a grown man, but he's a kid. So Melvin, Otis in a lot of ways looked after him. And so, of course, as you get older and life moves on and you're successful and you're all these things, well, that package probably is not going to change. Like even with doing the reunion tour, a lot of people don't know that was something Melvin wanted. Melvin was pushing that. He wanted to sing with the original guys. Otis didn't want nothing to do with it because you've been there and done it. It's kind of like, getting remarried to someone you divorced.
Dating an ex-girlfriend.
It's like, man, I love her, but didn't we do this before?
Right.
But
it ain't worked the first 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing this again?
But Melvin, being the optimist, always like, no, let's do it, man. Let's get back together. Let's do
Yeah.
So Otis said, let's go. So, I say all that to say that, the movie wasn't too far from the truth. David, I think what I've always believed when it comes to, especially when you're telling people stories, if you're going to tell the bad, you have to tell the good
along with it. 100%.
Because then that person becomes the villain. David had a drug problem. So if you know anyone who's on drugs, these people make very poor decisions on drugs. When you're not on drugs, you're a kind person, you're a sweet person, you're a dad, you have a family. David had a wife, he had children. David would give you the shirt off his back. Now, when David was using, he was that guy. Please believe that he was that guy. Like, but you're using. When my father publicly talks about himself, my father using drugs at that particular. When my father was using, he was a different guy. He was not the guy you wanted to be around. But when you're not using, then you're pleasant. So I think you have to show a balance so that, because what ends up happening is your children kind of suffer what the media shows about, like David Jr.'s kind of suffered a little bit
still to this day
because of how his father's been betrayed.
Right.
But if you don't understand that, David Sr. used to hang out with his son. They used to build bikes together. They built cars. David Sr. would ride horses.
And David Jr. works on cars as a hobby
because of his
right.
So if you don't understand that he wasn't, he could be a piece of work, but he also had a different side, and that's what I think sometimes is missing from these type of shows. Paul Sr. had an alcohol problem. Okay, well, that, but he also had 4 kids. He had a wife. He was beloved in his community.
I'd never heard a bad word about Paul. You
won't find anyone say a bad word about Paul Sr.
from anybody.
I mean anybody. They will all. Matter of fact, when we travel and we're talking to people, we don't hear about Eddie. Everybody talks about how much they love Paul. When they met, when we saw the Temps at the Rooster Tail and 67, blah blah blah. Paul Williams came. Paul Williams is a beloved figure. But again, when you're drunk and you're an alcoholic, you are making really bad decisions. You're showing up to work drunk, you're performing drunk. But if you don't understand that he had sickle cell,
and that's how he dealt with the pain.
Back in the 60s, you didn't have especially being a black man, your issues weren't being catered to. So he drank to numb the pain of performing.
Yeah.
But if you don't understand that, then you just think he's a drunk and he's beating on his wife and he's doing all these crazy things. So it's just, I think sometimes you just got to bring context to people's stories so that you have the balance. But for the most part, 80-90% of that movie was pretty accurate on how things transpired.
I agree, but they still made my pops look like a punk.
Melvin got mad twice in that movie, bro. Melvin in the movie. This is his favorite pose. Head down, chilling, bro. Like it's not like we're multi-millionaires in here. Oh,
them here. We can't just retire. Things don't work out.
It'll work out. What? Yeah.
Okay. See, even during that period, the Temps have always, even though record sales started to fall, but the Temps have never done poorly on the road.
Ever.
Yeah.
You'll never find a building that was half full.
Dude, to this day, we were just, what was that? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were just with them down in Sarita, like packed
5,000 people strong.
Packed house, bro. Like it was amazing.
It was them in the Four Tops.
Yeah, them in the Tops.
Yep.
They're on tour right now. We were up on stage. There's video of us up on Facebook and IG.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of their show, you know, they bring people up to sing My Girl. Smokey just came out at their last show at the Fox Theater
in Detroit.
Out in Detroit. To come sing My Girl, but they like to bring up members of the crowd, so they brought up me and Glenn like 2-3 weeks ago to come sing My Girl, and like it just to know they've been doing this for 64 years, and there was not one empty seat in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like that is phenomenal, yo.
Yeah.
Like that's something to aspire towards.
Yeah.
Hey, that's you said it right there. That's something to aspire to be. Well,
Yeah.
we running out of time here, so we want to wrap this up. You got any more questions? Nah, I guess not.
Nah, it's
Well,
just
I want to before we go, I like to invite Mel Franklin and Glenn Leonard to take part in something we do here before we end the show here. But before I go forth, I want to ask y'all just something, and y'all can yes or no this, please. And this is to everybody because I've heard this before I got on the show, and this threw me for a loop. Do y'all put cheese on your honey buns?
Hell, put cheese on.
Look, he done dropped his whole setup on it. Josh done dropped his whole.
He done disrespected his whole space.
You just spoke blasphemy, brother.
You done disrespected this man's whole space.
I know
his whole recording setup didn't fell in half.
What grown man puts cheese on his honey? Like,
I
does
don't
that
know.
even sound right?
I don't know a little kid that puts cheese on their honey
bun
buns.
and cheese, like buns
And
and
then,
cheese.
and then he was speaking regular, like, yeah, you know, everybody put cheese on the honey bun. I said, brother,
Who is everybody?
Who is
Yeah, so that's somebody who's trying to normalize ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what are we
Like,
talking about here?
You know, like who doesn't punch babies in the face? Like,
what? Cheese.
That makes no sense, bro. I'm sorry.
Cheese on a honey.
Yeah, you don't normalize that foolishness. I'm sorry. And look, no disrespect to the person who thinks that's good.
Yeah,
and notice the person.
Yeah, the person.
There are 9 billion people on the planet. Shout out to the one person that puts cheese on their honey bun.
Yeah, who's
I'm
doing
not
this?
Knocking you.
Wait, who's doing this?
But
I just want to know who's doing this.
I don't want to know who's doing it.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean,
anonymous.
I'm gonna say something.
People make hamburgers out of honey
buns. They stand 10 times down that this is the norm.
Oh, you on that Luther burger?
You on that Luther burger?
That's what it's called.
Well,
and it wasn't honey buns; it was Krispy Kreme donuts.
Kremes.
And
well, you know that. I mean, that kind of answers itself, though. Don't it? Like,
this whole time.
Yeah, we don't
Nah,
we don't do buns
no
or we don't do buns like buns in general. That's just kind of we just like to refer to it as bread.
Yes.
We'll let y'all know today.
Buns has a certain connotation.
Yeah, buns and honey buns and cheese. That's wow.
No.
I think my father
that sounds like a disease or something.
Yeah,
like an STD.
Honey buns and cheese.
Nah, like you go into the doctor, like, yeah, so we found some cheese on your honey buns. We're like, oh my God, is it serious?
How did I get diabetes? I eat healthy.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
Like you eat what now?
So I hope, Mr. Evans, we answered your question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Put that cheese down. Put that cheese and leave that cheese up that honey bun. I know it's probably.
Now, I mind you, this person is not me. This person is a person, and it is not good. And when
He's
I
in
heard
his
this,
room.
I said that is an atrocious food taste, and you should give me one.
He's in his room somewhere.
Right. We believe you. It's
we
okay.
believe. And when we find you, we're going to expose you. When we find you, we're going to expose you.
Yeah, the person that is putting cheese.
You don't have to convince us.
When we find you, you're gonna be publicly shamed.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to let y'all off to this. I'm going to, if y'all don't mind, this has been a wonderful, fruitful conversation. I just sat back to listen to all of it, but by the same token, I was going forth and giving my own thoughts and writing down some things. But I will say, I want to invite y'all to this part, the song of the day. What is the song of the day today?
Oh, I'm the only one who did it.
Our song of the day is
Staple singer. Let's do it again.
Okay, let's do it again.
That wasn't Let's Do It Again.
Nah, that's the song of the day music. The song of the day here is this song right here.
Oh, I thought that was what was playing.
Right. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. That is not the staple singer.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it again. Yeah, staple singer, of course. Let's do it again.
Kind of an odd song to sing with your daughter, but you know.
Well, after honey buns and cheese, you know.
I'm just saying.
Where do we go from there?
I'm just saying that's a mic drop right there.
I ain't trying to do that again.
Right. But look, I do want to let me add this, please, before we close. Let me add this one thing. The city of Mobile, which is where my father is originally from before he moved to Detroit. The city of Mobile is looking to honor my father with a mural on one of their historical landmarks. My beautiful, fantastically awesome sister, Davette, put together a crowdfunding campaign, and we're looking to raise $10,000 to make this mural happen. So I'm looking for 10,000 Temptations fans to donate $1. $1. The link to the crowdfunding campaign is on my page on both Facebook and Instagram. We'll be posting a video here shortly in the next day or two on my YouTube page, Melvin Franklin Jr. everywhere, by the way. But if anybody has ever taken a moment to enjoy the music of the Temptations and specifically the voice of Mr. Melvin Franklin, I would ask that you do two things. That you first go to my page and donate $1. And secondly, share that link to as many people as you can and request that they donate $1. And of all of the millions of Temptations fans throughout the globe, we're only looking for 10,000 for you to help make history. $1. That's all it takes. Go to my page, Melvin Franklin Jr. Click on the link. Share the link. Donate $1. That's all we're asking.
I'm finna do that right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That boy sound like his daddy, don't he?
Definitely. And we'll ask, if you don't mind, we'll ask Jamarcus to put this clip in one of our post on our page, and we actually if you do the same.
Awesome. That would be awesome. And tag me in it, please, and I'll repost it on my page.
Yeah,
please do.
Just tag us in your areas as well. So we hope to connect and to keep going forward and building this fellowship.
Absolutely. And I pray we get to do this again sometime soon.
Yes, indeed. Well, everybody, I'd like to give give a round warm applause for Melvin Franklin Jr. and Glenn Leonard. It's been a wonderful addition to Rhythm and Reason, and we're glad to have them. Y'all have a good day, and y'all take care.
Take care.
Thank you for having us.
You can turn the track off.
Wait! Before you go, where can we find this once it drops?
The interview.
YouTube, and I'll send it to you when we get off here. I'll send you our
Right, but
YouTube.
where do the people find it? That's what I'm at. Like, once this drops, where can everybody find this?
Yes, we'll have it written in our description of the video, but you can find us on Spotify. You can find us here on YouTube, and you can find us, of course, on our Instagram. Those are
I'm on your page right now getting the link.
My brother. I love a proactive brother, man. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate it, sir.
No problem.
Well,
right,
we'll catch y'all on the rebound.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being part.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Peace be with you.
Take care.
What awesome, awesome people.
Good guys, man.
What awesome people.
Yo, we made it.
I just want to say, I'm just appalled. I mean, well, I'm happy. We got Melvin Franklin Jr. and Glenn Leonard. I ain't know Glenn Leonard Jr. was gonna be on.
No one did. Happy surprise, man.
Happy surprise.
And you know what?
Since we
need to get a hold of DeMarcus and ask him to put that on our
in the link. I got it.
And so whatever they requested, so it's all there.
Yo,
that way they'll post us on their page, and we'll go from there. And this episode we'll post. I'll try to get it on our Spotify.
All right, for sure. All right, so we gonna go ahead and skip the field of vision because we've been talking for a lot longer than I thought we was gonna talk.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Kind of fanboyed out, y'all. We sorry. We kind of fanboyed out, y'all.
Well, I think today's episode was a special episode, and so we'll definitely include it in that sense. We thank you all for your support on this episode of Rhythm and Reason. And nobody else got anything else to say. We'll end it off on that.
Song selection.
Do y'all really want to do a song selection?
Yes.
Gang said, "Do you want to really do a song?"
Yes. I'll even sing myself after Team Nick, of course.
Hey, okay, we can do that.
I mean, if Melvin Franklin Jr. and Glenn Leonard Jr. are still on, please stay for our song selection.
Man, what? Because who
they not on no more?
Have to play in our place like that.
They're not on. But if y'all want to do the song selection, go right ahead. Go ahead and do song selection. Everybody, go ahead. Somebody introduce yourselves. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna introduce Team Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce y'all to brother Team Nick. This man is wonderful. He can sing his ass off. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Nick.
For sure. It's gonna be a little something down here. Yo, how's everybody doing out there tonight?
One more time, here we go.
Yeah, strong to the bone, baby. Now what I need to know is how many people out there ready to get down? Come on, say yeah. Say yeah. Oh, we finna get busy tonight, y'all. Am I, baby, what you missing? The kind of guy who give you a dozen roses every day. Shower you with hugs and kisses. And make sure that you get love in each and every way. My mama told me to remember, boy. She says a woman is your pride and joy. That's why I treat you with seniority. A gentleman is what I strive to be. I'm a stone cold gentleman. I do all that I can. I give my heart, my time. Woo. Baby, I'm a stone cold gentleman. So girl, just take my hand, cause you've been missing out on what is chivalry. Yeah. I believe. Stone cold. Baby, I'm stone cold. Here we go. Come on. Rhythm and Reason, here we go. Come on. Now baby, don't mind giving. No, I'm not giving you the kind of love that I know you deserve. Cause I'll be there 24/7 to treat you nice day and night. Oh, baby, just say the word, and I will open every door for you. Send you letters and some sweet perfume. Then I call you up to say I love you so. I do special things because I want you to know. Now what I'm about to do right now is show everybody how to get down.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. On one.
Let's kick it.
I'm a stone cold gentleman, but I don't like a girl that tries to be too fly. Remember that day I spoke to kept talking. Pulled up in the Benz today, you was talking my boy, and all of a sudden you started giving the rhythm up. Yeah, B, and I ain't even trying to go out like that. Oh, baby, I'm stoned. Oh, shit, I'm cold. I'm gonna treat you nice, day and night, baby. Just say the word, and I'll be right there. Oh, I'm gonna treat you nice, day and night, baby. All right, y'all, I'm up out of here. Hope y'all enjoy.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on this show, Rhythm and Reason. I would like to thank our guest, Glenn Leonard, Lord have mercy, and Melvin Franklin Jr., and our singer, Terrence. And I would like to say, as we say every day and every week, keep the rhythm in your life and the reason in your heart. Peace be with you, and we'll catch you on the rebound. Rhythm and Reason was filmed in front of a live studio audience.